No see. Let me get this squared away. Is that more better? We'll let some people come in the room. It is official. I have filed my lawsuit in the Kentucky Western District Court, federal court. Look, see that? These all got to get served. I'm waiting for people to come in the room. Don't think it's weird. What's up, Claire? What up, Steve? Remember, Steve, the first time I ever saw you, I was like, Steve Abick? Abick? Like, what's that mean? Albuquerque. What's up, proud American? STD. So it's great to see you all. I know I have not been on much. That is by design. You'll understand when the time comes. I'll fill everybody in on what we're really doing. It's kind of, consider it a social experiment. A social experiment. We're just trying to show a few things. But today, we're going to ruffle some feathers. We're going to ruffle some feathers. There's going to be a lot of hate videos coming out and people using this video to make false allegations about us and all this stuff. They're on like a warpath, trying to convince the world that Chris and Tiffany are just liars and they don't have any misconduct being committed against them by the government, and these corrupt public officials are perfectly honest and everything they're doing is so true, and Chris and Tiffany are the liars, blah blah blah. Whatever. We all know better than that. You've seen it. It's on video. So, which is another reason why I definitely promote people to always have video. At least always keep a record. But we just left the Western Federal District Court of Louisville, Kentucky, where I filed my lawsuit. Put a one in chat if you all remember. It'd be hard for you to forget. Put a one in chat if all of you remember. Whoever remembers, put a one in chat. The malicious prosecution where they were trying to wrap me up for a 1998 case over a single joint. One in chat if you recall that. If you don't, you must be new here, which is fine too. We'll give you a rundown. What up, Tube Sock? Thank you, Claire. Membership for 8 months. Is JJ's, this is Tube Sock's comment, is JJ still paying Todd and Direct D to be against you? Sure. I mean, just look at them. Just look at them. That should answer your question on its own. Direct D's been awful quiet lately, but what I think is funny about what Direct D's doing, he is giving people in the 1A community, he is giving people an email to reach out to share their experiences with them so that he can publish it. He's saying it so that he can publish it on his channel, but the email belongs to a corrupt government official from Meade County, Kentucky. So Chris Ruff is having people tell their side of the story in government, in alleged government abuse cases, and send them the proof. He's having them do it directly to a government official. Ain't that shitty? Ain't that shitty? Because we all know what the government official that he's having them send it to is up to. That's shitty, Ruff. Like, you dumb fuck. Hope you're watching. What you're doing, you're a piece of shit, Ruff, to do that to people. Anyway, so, yeah, officially, it is official. The lawsuit has been filed. So, what it's for is malicious prosecution. Those of you who put ones in who saw that, put a one in again if you agree that it's obvious that the prosecution attempt on that case was malicious intent. If you believe that the prosecutors were trying to put me in jail because they were being malice, they didn't have a case. They didn't have a case. As a matter of fact, everything that they did have proved that it was not me from 1998. So lots of ones flying. That's what we thought. And I think that's what the judges and the court's going to think too, is that it fits all of the definition to malicious prosecution, to being malice, to have a malicious intent. Because why would prosecutors prosecute on a case in which they actually had evidence, physical evidence, that they omitted from submitting, right? They didn't submit it in court. There's a lot of details. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a lawsuit. But I think it shows an awful lot of maliciousness when you know that evidence that you have is going to prove this person right. Therefore, you don't give it to the other party and you don't submit that portion of it into court. Like, that tells me all I need to know by itself. Of course, there's a lot more, but we also named Kentucky State Police Post 4, which I believe will be held to it, regardless of argument that may come of statute of limitation. It's all one case. And we also, well, you'll be able to read the filing. I mean, I guess I could read it to you. Put a one in the chat if y'all want me to read it to you. The claim. It's public information. Put a one in the chat if y'all would like for me to read it to you, or maybe me and Tiffany. What up, Tav? You come in here and made my chat go away, homie. Every time you must touch buttons. They're trying too hard. Yeah, they spent way too much money. And withholding of exculpatory evidence. Yep. Read it twice. Says Steve, read it twice. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. What we will do is, I promise you all that there will be another live stream in the near future where we'll just go over like the entire claim with you. I'll probably pull the one off the internet. Like, now that it's been filed, it should show up on Pacer probably within the next couple of hours, if it's not up already. I wonder if it's up already. Does anybody in here have Pacer? Hi, darling. We live. Well, I'm live.
I'm gonna say you're live.
I'm live. Does anybody in here have Pacer? You can look right now and see if it's already pulled up or put up on the internet. Public. If anybody has it. Shit, my chat keeps freezing up. I hate when it does that.
Yeah, reception's really bad here.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Y'all, is my reception coming in okay? People are saying, hi, OMC.
Hello, everyone.
You don't work that fast, Tav. You got Pacer. You can see it's the Western District Court of Kentucky. Howdy, Tiff. This is Teresa, says Crazy Dog Lady. I love that name.
Hello, Teresa.
We have a crazy dog.
Yes, we do.
5 by 5, everything's working. All right, so I wanted to be as quick as I could without blowing the lid off of it, at letting y'all know that we did not let it slide. What KSP 4, that's Kentucky State Police Post 4, what they're doing is unacceptable. The way they're treating people is unacceptable. Their retaliation over the First Amendment is unacceptable. The abuse of the legal process is unacceptable. And the Hardin County prosecution on me, that is unacceptable. So there's more. We'll read the whole claim to you on a video soon. But, you know, and I'm in a busy ass public parking lot right now in front of a mall. So there is a bunch of shit happening around us right now. But we'll go over the whole thing. Do you want to tell them the defendants in it real quick? You will help remind me of who all the defendants are. I won't cite them all by name, but by title.
Goldsboro.
Dude, you're using names. Don't do that.
Oh.
All right. So, well, it's going to be in public, but I'd rather just tell you who they were as far as their duties and positions. We had the supervisor at the state police post. He's definitely a defendant. We had the guy that he was directing. Actually, there's 3 guys that he was given directive to, but one of them was the one that took me to jail. That's for KSP because they did an illegal search on my car and took my car and put it in the impound when it was in a public parking lot. And the other person that was with me was a licensed driver who had permission to take my car. They had no reason to take my car. They just wanted to search it. And they didn't just search it, they damaged the hell out of it. And then they impounded it. And then they left Joe with no way home. He had to call and get his daughter to come pick him up and give him a ride back home. That was completely unnecessary. So, not only that, but they didn't have any cause. There was no cause at all whatsoever for him to feel the need to identify me. And he did so after saying, "Are you that guy? Are you that guy that is on YouTube publishing stuff about our sheriff and police officers?" And then he commenced to doing an illegal investigation on me. So that's in the lawsuit. And Tav, you're right. He says the Todd can't even comprehend the Bible, let alone case law, right? I know. And this is my case, so like you don't even really need case law to talk about this. And he'll confuse that too, I'm sure. He'll confuse this case. He'll cite a bunch of crazy shit that's off the wall that don't make sense to nothing. So we've got there was 2 officers that searched my vehicle. There was 1 officer that was taking commands by the supervisor who locked me up and handled me rough and took me to jail. And then there was the supervisor. So there's 4 defendants from KSP 4. And then for the court process, we have the prosecutor, the Hardin County prosecutor. And this isn't against any of their judges or anything, because so far we've seen nothing but decency out of the judges there. I mean, hopefully I don't have to bite my tongue on that one, but later. But for right now, we've not seen anything but decency out of their judges. So this is there's a reason this one person is a defendant. And then the former supervisor of the 1998 CAPS program. That's the person that requested that a warrant be put on somebody when she had failed to get the person's identity. She didn't get their ID. She didn't follow their procedures to take their fingerprints. In other words, when she had someone that she claims was entered into CAPS, she didn't even identify the person. She just let them take a drug test, say that their name was so-and-so, and leave. Actually, I think technically what they're saying, he said his name was Chris Ritter. And that's it. So she failed in her official capacity to follow her own procedures to identify who it was that she was after, that she was supervising over in a drug program. And then she goes and asks for a warrant for the arrest for that person, not knowing who the person was back in 1998, according to the documents. So she's named. She was also a witness against me. She was one of the witnesses that said, I can't identify this man that I see before me. Even though she was trying to have me put in jail, she said, I don't recognize him. At least she was honest about that. But we'll see how it works in litigation. So she's a defendant. And then, who else is it, babe? Oh, the jail. The jail. Sorry, Big Josh. I know you're watching. But no. You have to feed people. I'm talking to jailers right now. You have to feed people. So when dinner's being passed out and you got an inmate who hasn't eaten and you're taking 4 to 6 hours to book them in and they miss dinner, you have to feed that person. And you definitely have to have working water fountains so that the inmates can get their water inside of the jail. You cannot have a toilet with a little water faucet on the top that only dribbles, and you're forcing people to take Dixie cups and stick it to the metal so that the water will trickle into a cup. And first and foremost, you got to give the motherfucker a cup. They refused to give me a cup to drink water. I was in there overnight. I had no food, no water. Thankfully, there was an inmate in there who gave me a cup, one of his cups. I had to drink out of somebody else's cup. But at least I didn't have to stick my mouth to the fucking surface of a toilet to suck the water out of a fucking water fountain. So that's unacceptable. That's in the lawsuit. And then the COs that would not give me access to the phone to call my lawyer and refused me medical attention. Because as y'all know, my shoulder had been sprained by the officer, by the trooper, and they would not look at me for medical. No matter how many times I asked for it, no matter how many times Tiffany called, they sent a nurse into the jail in the middle of the night, about 9 hours, 10 hours later. And he comes in and he says, "We're getting calls. Somebody in here needs medical." I said, "Oh, thank God that was me." And he said, "Nah, not you." And would not look at my shoulder. So there's 2 COs, the nurse, and the jailer that's named in this. Those are the defendants. I can't think of any. Is that it? I think it was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So those are the defendants in the suit. It will be available to the public within the next, if it's not already, in the next couple hours. We are actively seeking for a law firm. I'm not going to tell you who I've talked to so far, but there are a couple potential law firms that are interested in taking it over from here, which we will probably do. It's just, I'm not an attorney. I'm acting pro se in this matter. And as much as I've learned, I don't have the resources and the time to choose to take this on myself when it comes to interrogatories, when it comes to, answering all these motions for dismiss that they're going to be putting in, which we know that's going to happen, especially the prosecutor. He's going to claim prosecutorial immunity, which is a very hard thing to argue against. It's literally like sovereign immunity, but it applies to their acts inside of the courtroom, and their administrative actions are actually, well, I know what I'm doing. Like, I've got a good idea of what I filed, so I understand the argument, and I think I'm capable of it. It's just that I would prefer to have a law firm handling it for me. So we're working on that aspect of it right now. Matter of fact, I should be getting a call here in just a little bit. But anyway, that's where we're at with it. I wanted to update y'all. Yes, I did have court this morning. It was fucking stupid. There was a person that was retaliating who needs to quit watching me on social media and stalking me. Like, really, she needs to quit. And she filed a completely frivolous, made no sense protection order that the judge immediately dismissed and said, "There's nothing here to do a protection order. Like, what are you doing?" So that's how that went. So it was dismissed, as we knew it would be. There was no basis to it. It was literally just a person that's been obsessed with watching me on YouTube and got some really crazy shit in her head, thinking that she's a lot closer to me than she is, when I have nothing to do with this person. She's, one of Todd's friends. She's one of Greg Brent's friends. You know what I mean? So she's one of these obsessive weirdos that Tiffany and I have somehow attracted, who got in her mind that something was personal between us, and just went and filed a completely frivolous protection order. And it was shot down just as fast as it was filed. So we knew that's how the outcome was going to be of that. Yeah, that's it for now. We got stuff to do. I'm going to be getting a phone call from an attorney's office here really shortly. Are you familiar with Paul Unside? He's beat all his court cases. There was no losses or injury or harm. No, I'm not familiar with that person or that channel. We pretty much kind of are in our own bubble, Tiff and I. We hear about stuff on YouTube quite often, and we support, anything First Amendment. So even though we support, doesn't mean that we're up to date on what everybody's doing. I do have a clique of friends that I'm more proactive with. It's got a woman So you got a woman in your area that files those kinds of things on a lot of people. Yeah, unfortunately, not everybody is sane. I'll just go ahead and tell you, it was my mother. The same mother that I left at 15 years old, the same mother that I was emancipated from, the same mother that's weaponized the legal system against me for what, 50 years, 40 years. But I have nothing to do with her. I haven't had anything to do with her for the majority of my life. And she is not sane. She's literally diagnosed with a mental illness. And she just needs to fucking quit trying to think that there's anything, like, I get it. She's my mom. She's probably in her mind somewhere. Her mind is probably telling her that she's supposed to have some type of relationship with her children, but it's not healthy for me. And I knew that when the abuse led to me being removed from her when I was 15 years old. And I've pretty much maintained keeping separate from her throughout my whole life. Don't get me wrong. I've tried a few times to see if she was better with the medication and stuff, and it's always been mistakes to ever let her back into my life. All she does is have a fucking breakdown, and like she'll go off into her la la land. And yeah, my mom did that to me. I've heard that my whole life. Look, there are crazy people, right? You understand that. There are people with mental illnesses. To think that that's not always going to be somebody's family member would be to not consider the truth or facts about life. So when you hear about a person who's off a rocker, off the chain, wild as fuck, that's somebody's mom, that's somebody's sister, that's somebody's dad, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's kid. You know what I mean? And you have to accept the fact that the family members sometimes are in the right by separating from them completely. So, like, that's all it is. And I don't feel like nothing's been taken from me in my life. I feel like my life is fulfilled. I've never had like any kind of, separation issues, nothing like that. I was just fine parting ways and going on my own. Now, I'm almost 50 years old. I haven't needed a mommy, and I've proven it since I was 15 years old. So, like, I don't need that relationship, especially if that relationship is volatile, or if that relationship is going to turn into that person weaponizing the legal system against me. So I just don't need it. And it doesn't bother me to stay away from it. So that's it. Yep, that's what I got. So that was a completely frivolous protection order attempt. It was shot down. I really didn't even have to say anything in the courtroom. There was no need to, because the case was so frivolous. There really wasn't anything to support the need, because nothing has happened. I haven't had any communication. She alleged that my YouTube channel was about, which I don't want, to say too much, because I don't want people making fun of her mental illness that much. Although some of the shit she does and says is really funny. She alleged in the courtroom that my YouTube channel was all about her. And it's not. It never has been. I barely even mention her. Have y'all ever even seen me even really talk about her on my YouTube channel? The judge probably knows she's unstable. Well, I mean, we won a lawsuit against Clark County, where that judge was from, because she made false reports. Shots got screwed. I know who Justin Shots is. Oh, is he in jail? That's crazy. What up, B&G? Thank you for checking up on us, B&G. We appreciate that. We love you. Even though you're a whacked ass troll. He's one of the best trolls ever, y'all. I'm just kidding. We love B&G. We love biscuits. Hey, Jen Thunder. Hey, VA. I should go through everybody. Tiger, VA, Sophia, B&G. Trump said. All right, where are we going with this? There's a lot. Oh, you know what? I can't even scroll the back that far. I think I already said hi to you, Claire. We love you. We got a call. What's up? We got a call. I've appreciated your comments lately. Joey, what's up? Joey in the house. Okay. Some of these questions were during when my chat was seized up, so it's probably too late to go back on it now. But anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate that you did keep up with what was going on through the 1998 joint that ain't mine case. Your attention to that matter was very helpful in the government over it ultimately doing the right thing, which was dismissing the case. But we got a long way to go. This is round 2. We're just getting started. We're going to need your support through the lawsuit. And I think this will bring back a lot of energy to the channel. And on the 15th, something real big is going to happen. It's been in the mix for a long time, and I haven't told y'all about it because I need you to be surprised. You're going to be on the 15th. I'll fill you in on the 15th of what that thing is, and we'll even share it together. But y'all are going to fucking love what's happening on the 15th. It is a big, big deal. And then, any more updates? It's been so long since I've been live.
No, I don't think so.
There's more, but I think that's all we're going to do for now. And we've given the trolls plenty of content with this video. You can expect that this is going to make its rounds within the next 2 hours of a few hate channels. Yeah, no, there was, and here's the thing, Sophia, Daisy Mae, there was no case involving me in marijuana in a joint from 1998. It was proven who it was. The prosecutor knew who it was. Hell, I'll tell you all who it was. It was the girl that I dated when I was 18 and 19. It was her boyfriend, not me. The boyfriend, she was cheating on me, or maybe I was the one. I don't know which one she was cheating on. She was pretty frisky when it came to all that in life. Not very loyal to anything. So, yeah, it was her boyfriend that was trying to pretend to be me, right? Like it was him. And the prosecutor knew that because he tried to get a license in Kentucky using my information with his picture, and he gave his social security number when they flagged him for trying to get the license. So the prosecutor had this dude's social security number, and the prosecutor has access to look and see who that is, which I'm sure he did. Put a 1 in chat if you all think the prosecutor, when he saw that social security number was presented that did not match my identification less than 2 weeks before having to take a drug test and prove who they were at the CAPS program. Put a 1 in chat if you think the prosecutor would have searched and seen who it was that was trying to get a license in my name. I mean, his whole case revolved around identifying whoever the individual was. Put a 1 in chat if you think that the prosecutor responsible for that case, who received his social security number, would have ran a check to see who the person. Of course he did. Thank you for the ones. Of course, at least there's some common sense left in this world. And I have them all here in my chat. Of course he did. He knew who it was. That's what makes it malicious prosecution. All right, guys. Love you. See you on the next one. You want to say bye, baby?
Love you guys.
See you on the next one, y'all.